Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Cynthia Smith. This is the Intuitive Hypnotherapy Podcast. I'm an intuitive, I'm a hypnotherapist, and I have a podcast. So, boom. Um, Today, I'm giggling, which is silly because we're going to have kind of a deep and juicy subject to work on today. But as I say, come for the chat and stay for the healing. And today, we're going to talk about and give a healing on when you get a devastating diagnosis. Like what happens when you're in the doctor's office and they say you have cancer or you have an injury that's going to require a serious surgery, or it's a collection of injuries and you're not going to be able to do your job anymore. Maybe you're a football player or dancer or chiropractor. Um, and when I talk about the devastating diagnoses, I mean, these happen all the time. Everybody's going to have one, to a greater or lesser degree. And my general wish is to take the fear out of it, or some of the fear out of those times when we have the harsh reality. And you could apply this to other situations. Getting fired from your job, losing that scholarship, breakup. But there's a gut punch that happens when we get that diagnosis or get that moment of realization where our lives are going to be different from this moment forward. And with all due respect, with all sincerity and reverence and honor for every situation, I encourage you to go there with whatever you happen to feel at the moment. This is not a running away from your feelings meditation. No, in fact, this is a lean in to your feelings, whatever they are. Who's our good friend that has the um, 5 layers of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, reticence, and acceptance, something like that. And we can ping pong back and forth between those different responses. Denial is, when you get the story and you go, no, that's why that one should typically first. Irrespective, we have a collection as humans of emotions that we get to experience. Many of them are the fun ones: joy, admiration, gratitude, exhilaration, happiness. Then there's the neutral ones, pensiveness. And then we have the juicy ones: anger, depression, sadness, grief, guilt, worry, shame. We can go on and on and on. But these emotions are part of the human experience. And when we resist going or feeling any of those, then we're not allowing part of that human experience and part of our ability to heal, in my opinion. So in this meditation, I'm going to show you, and we're going to do it together, how to gingerly step into that place where you're feeling whatever it is you're feeling regarding your devastating diagnosis. And that's just the words I came up with in this moment. Whatever language makes sense to you for this situation. Nevertheless, I'm here to help give you a safe space to feel what you're feeling. And then through our tools, help you create some distance from the diagnosis and appreciate that it's information, and have a little bit of separation from you and that information. And that's where our tool of neutrality comes into play, where we can look at the situation, however dire or juicy, and have a level of objectivity around it. Have a level of, okay, let's assess this for what it is. And from there, we can respond. We've already reacted, but now we're going to respond. Now we get into the, okay, the problem is firmly cemented. We've got the problem. Now we're in the solution finding business. What do we do with this information? I believe it was Norman Vincent Peale who said, imagine the worst possible outcome and then improve upon it. That is such a good line. I wish I had come up with it. But it really means if you can sit with what is the worst possible outcome in this situation, and then what's the step after that? What happens if you leave your body? That's the ultimate. In Chinese medicine, I believe the term is absolute yin. So when you're born, you have all your yang energy. And so if you go to absolute yin, if it is your karma or your mock-up to leave your body, then what? There's a lot more that you can do with that information. Do you want to come back? Have you completed all the karma that you intended to in this lifetime? Are you still unconscious to some things that you would like to bring consciousness to and awareness to? What are you going to do with this information? And maybe the diagnosis isn't that dire, isn't leaving the body level dire. But if it is, allow me to help you be brave, give you the tools to look at death pictures. Death pictures are that concept of what happens when somebody dies, whether it's your pet or a loved one or yourself. What then? How do you transition? Now, with my physical being, I've asked my daughter, should she have the funds for it, I'd like her to turn me into diamonds, and the synthetic ones, and then whatever's left, I've asked her to take whatever's left that she wasn't able to make into diamonds and take it to any place on the planet that we always wanted to travel, whether we made it there in this lifetime or wanted to. And but I've also mocked up staying in my body to 120, because I really think it'd be cool to watch my kid while I'm still in a body when she's 90. So, those are some of the things that I've put out to the universe. And so when I look at death pictures, and yes, this could be triggering people. So, but the other piece in this is I'm going to give you some tools. I'm going to give you how I work with, how I was able to sit and go, oh, I think I'm going to have my kid turn me into diamonds, and not be all lit up about it. Yeah, I'm going to donate my organs, sure. whatever's still viable and can help another body, God bless. Moreover, you don't have to do this alone. Please, this is entertainment, this isn't medical advice. So as much as I'd love to think that listening to my meditations and my hypnosis sessions is healing you from stem to stern, yes, trust but verify, right? Chat with your medical providers, your healers, your counselors, your spiritual counselors, your friends, your family. It does take a village, and tap into and access everyone you have around you when you get your diagnosis, or if you're there for somebody who got their diagnosis. These are tools to help you deal and ultimately heal, because that's what I'm here for, to help people heal their pain. With that being said, and before we start, if this topic is too juicy for you, don't listen to it while you're driving. Don't listen to it at work, operating heavy machinery. And if you decide to do this meditation, excuse me, and you can choose a topic that on an intensity level, maybe pick one that's a 2 to 4 out of 10 intensity instead of the biggest, juiciest topic diagnosis you can imagine. Or jump in with both feet. We're going to find our safe space, and then we're going to heal and invite healing and invite our guides and angels. And the last part of this is, through it all, I invite you to find, reach out, resource, experience, develop. There's another word I'm looking for, I can't find it. But find a way to connect to the God of your heart, however that looks in your universe. My truth is that we're all connected, that we're all created from source, and we're connected to source, and we're connected to one another. And we have this vibrational plane that we all work on. And to the degree that we remember who we are, remember our connection to source, it allows us to tap into that divine healing. It's happening all over the world at this moment. Somebody's getting a healing. Why not you? Why not? Okay, with that being said, we'll break for a short sponsor break, and get yourself a cup of tea, glass of water, kick off your shoes, find yourself a comfy chair, and nestle in. Welcome back. If everyone could just take a deep, deep breath and let it go. And do that again. Take a deep breath. Let it out. And really just get your body here. Get your physical body here. Fully engaged with your spirit, with your emotional body, with your mental body, even your astral body. Let's check in with the whole of us, our full and complete essence. And go ahead and give yourself a grounding cord If any of the conversation preceding this meditation lit you up, you may have had a grounded cord and dropped it. Go ahead and create a new one. And connect that grounding cord. Imagine a tube of light, for example. Tube of light that connects to the base of your spine. It's about as wide as your hips. And have it ground through the chair that you're sitting in, through the floor, through all the floors of the building you're in, all the way down to the center of the earth. And the center of the earth, we will imagine, is a pasture, a lawn, a field. Something where that tube of light can just ground into. And the center of the earth, we imagine, is neutral territory, neutral energy. Simply by grounding, we are shedding any energies that we're ready to let go of. Anything we've picked up in our travels, any light ups, or anything that we're finally ready to let go of. And you don't have to watch it. You don't have to go with it. You can just intend that those energies are traveling down your grounding cord all the way to the center of the earth, and the center of the earth, they're turned into neutral. No charge. And there's no charge to give your energy no charge. Yeah. Psychic humor. And then imagine a bubble around you in all directions. 3 feet in front, to either side, above you, below you, and behind you. Don't forget that. And in front. This is your aura, personal energy, power center, your power field. And it's around and active whether you are paying attention to it or not. You know when somebody's breached your personal space. Just intend that you're going to give your aura a healing. Bring it into present time, whatever today's date is when you're listening to this. And then be a point of light behind your eyes and in between your temples. Imagine that who you are is a point of light, and you're nestled behind your eyes and in between your temples, as if you can look at the world from behind your closed eyes. And it's important to stay in the center of your head during these meditations, especially if it's going to be kind of juicy like this one is, or can be. So be in the center of your head, grounded in your bubble. Just allow yourself to feel grounded, centered for a few breaths. Allow yourself to be in this present moment. And allow that to feel good. And say hello to your physical body. Sometimes just the mention of a diagnosis or a death picture can light up the physical body. That's okay, because that means something's ready to be healed. Be in the center of your head, grounded in your bubble, in present time. And any energies or light ups as a result of this topic, go ahead and let them fall down your grounding cord. Maybe they look like little poof balls. Maybe they look like just dust or iron filings, blobs of energy. Just imagine that any light ups you have from the chat of this meditation, begin to let those go. Ground those off. And sometimes that's all the healing you need, just to move that energy and get back to you. In the center of your head, grounded in your bubble. On the outside of your bubble, I'd like you to imagine a rose. It's a single rose hovering out there in space outside of your bubble. See what color it is. See if the flower is open or closed. See if it's got a long stem or no stem. It's got stems. Does it have leaves? Just create that rose in whatever detail makes sense for you. And appreciate how good you are at creating a rose. Even if it's a pencil drawing, that works too. And then I'd like you to blow that up. Just let it disappear right before your third eye. And after you've done that, create another rose. It can be identical to the one you just had. It can be completely different. It can be the same size, bigger, smaller. As long as it's hovering outside your space and not touching your bubble. And then go ahead and blow that one up too. Create another rose. And then blow it up. Create another rose. And blow it up. We call this blowing roses, or creating and destroying roses. There is a yin and yang for everything in this world, an up and a down, a light and a dark, a create and a destroy. So when you can imagine something being created and then destroying it, you are taking that item through its cycle, through its life cycle. You are moving that energy. And you can create and destroy roses for any topic that you would like. For example, perhaps you're nervous to speak in public. You could create and destroy roses for nervousness to speak in public. And you could do that right before you give your presentation. You could set your intention that you will create and destroy roses in your mind's eye during your presentation. And simply by doing that, you are moving energy. And it becomes quite easy So we're going to create and destroy roses for fear, for diagnoses, for our health picture, for death pictures. So let's start small, smallish. Imagine in your mind's eye a rose, and write on the stem the word fear. A rose that represents fear. And then blow it up. Do that again. Create a rose that represents fear and blow it up. One more time. Create and destroy. Now, if you'd like, you can just stay here and create and destroy roses of fear. This is an amazing tool for 101 uses. Fear of asking for that raise or making that phone call. Fear of getting on stage, taking your next step. Or whatever else, in any of the millions of ways that fear can show up. You can use this to help yourself out of a panic attack. Just create and destroy roses. Next, the next rose you create, write health on this. And health represents your physical health. And no, creating and destroying a rose isn't going to damage your health. No, it's just going to move energy around any fears that you have, any pain, any discomfort. So create a rose that says health. And if you like, you can put adverse health or ill health and destroy it. And do that again. This is also a great way of moving energy around any resistance you have to healing and health and having beautiful, radiant health. Just move the energy around the concept. And you might find that you begin feeling lighter, that you begin to feel more hopeful because you have moved stuck energy and you're allowing for flow, goodness, abundant health, prosperity, grace, healing. Now stay in the center of your head, grounded in your bubble, and take an inventory. How do you feel in your physical body right now? then on the outside of your bubble, create another bubble that represents illness or that negative diagnosis. And notice what you feel in your body. Just notice what you notice. And then blow that rose up. Create another rose that represents illness or a diagnosis. And then blow it up. Do that again. Another benefit of creating and destroying roses is it's a healthy, healthful way of you establishing control in your own space. You are creating something and then you are destroying it. And it's safe and it can only do you good. And you can allow your roses to disintegrate in any way you like. Sometimes mine just poof like a cartoon element that just disappears. Sometimes I like to imagine that it's the end of a firework that's gone off and it does the little sound as the last little remnants of the firework are burning out. Or maybe it goes up in a puff of smoke. Just create and destroy roses. And for the next one, I'm going to create a rose that represents death, your relationship with death, your thoughts on death, death pictures, your own. It could be the death of a job, it could be death of a dream, it could be death of a pet. Death is a multifaceted concept. But what I want you to do is imagine that that rose is way across the room, especially if this is juicy for you. Put it in the next county. See that rose farther away from you. Give yourself some distance, even more separation, and then blow it up. You can imagine it's at the edge of the universe. You can only see it in your mind's eye. Poof. For everything, there is a season. And this is a way, a very benign, comforting, healing way to look at some of those juicy, juicy topics. And look, you're still here. You're still doing great. You are healing yourself. And by doing so, you are holding a light for others to do the same. You're showing others it's okay to not be afraid. It's okay to be afraid. But then you can move that fear. So create a few more roses that represent death, whatever that looks like. And then blow them up. Create a rose, write the word on it, blow it up. And this is a way for you to have control over the subject, for you to have command, that you can move energy, that you can create healing, because you can. This is one of many tools that you have. Stay in the center of your head, be a point of light, and dial your point of light up by at least 10%. Be that much more bright. Be in the center of your head, be in your bubble, and be grounded to the center of the earth. And take an inventory of how you feel in your physical body right now. This is one of the juiciest meditations I've given. And you're doing great. Be in the center of your head, grounded in your bubble. Just take an inventory. Do you feel lighter? Do you have any swirlies or energy feelings in your body? Say hello to them. If they're uncomfortable, send them love. Take that energy and toss it down your grounding cord. Or just sit with it and see if it doesn't just fade. So be in the center of your head, grounded in your bubble, in present time. Completely starstruck by your own abilities to heal, to move energy, to look at the juiciest of topics and heal yourself through it all. Our reaction to any situation is often going to dictate how we navigate. This gives you some tools to help you navigate any situation, any challenging situation. And while you're here in the center of your head, grounded in your bubble, go ahead and create another bubble over your bubble. And put the first initial of your name in that bubble. I'm Cynthia, so I will put a big old C in my bubble, and I'm going to make it magnetic. And I'm going to call back into this bubble my energy, as you will call back your energy from wherever you've left it. Just leave it at the job. Do you leave it in a friend's space? Did you leave it back in high school? So wherever you're ready to have your energy back from, call it into that bubble over your head. And put in that bubble joy, peace, gratitude, consciousness, awareness, abundance, prosperity, grace, healing, purpose, love, self-love, and any other positive quality you would like more of. Belonging, hope, anything that makes you feel good in your space. And when you're ready, fill that bubble with gold. Gold has the highest vibration of all the colors, and it purifies that energy. And when you're ready, take an imaginary finger and pop that bubble and start to fill in your physical body with this wonderful energy that you've called back for you and turbocharged it with all those positive emotions, positive energies, Fill in the top of your head. Fill in your face, your neck, your shoulders, your arms, all the way down to your fingertips. Fill in your throat, your chest, your upper back. Fill in your side bodies, your lower back, hips. Fill in your thighs, down to your knees, your lower legs, all the way down to your ankles and toes. And then any energy, fill in your bubble, fill in your chakras with all that energy. And know that you are amazing. You are created from and connected to Source. You can do anything. You are one of God's creatures. If you or someone you know needs or would like a session, go ahead and reach out at hello@drcynthiasmith.com or go to my website, drcynthiasmith.com. There's forms there where you can contact me. And in the meantime, please like and subscribe, tell your friends, post a 5-star. Really appreciate it. Thanks for listening. Have a good day. Bye now.